Welcome to Bitcoin Saturdays, and we talk about Bitcoin every single Saturday. So if you're interested in seeing that every single week, please subscribe because last week we talked about how there was a divergence on a weekly and how much these things actually matter on the Bitcoin chart with this high up here. So you actually up here at 69,000, we got that divergence. It confirmed to the downside. And what do we see happen after a weekly divergence starts to play out? We see a huge ABC pattern to the downside, and you lose. You go from 69,000 all the way down to, we bottomed out around, what was that, 16,000. So you lost 75% since then. The reason I brought that up was because I just wanted to point out that we have another one of those divergences forming on the RSI, on the MACD. The price action is telling you, and we actually broke this recent trend line on the week of the 14th of August. The other thing I told you guys to pay attention to was this trend line. And once again, we actually broke that trend line. And we talked about if it broke, if we saw that trend line broke, we would want it to be bought up very quickly. And that's very cool to see on the daily. We're going to bring that up next. Overall, we just see a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick. We see all kinds of support at this level. So it wouldn't surprise me for Bitcoin to make some kind of up move in the near future. But nobody knows what's going to happen in the market. Overall, on the weekly, I just want you to pay attention to this. If this support here breaks and we get a confirmation on the weekly, like meaning the bar actually closes beneath it, and we do not bounce off this 50, meaning maybe the next week we close below that 50, that is going to start to open the door to lower levels. And the lowest that Bitcoin could actually go is like $3,600 in this accumulation zone. Do I think it's going to that level? No, but we'll talk about where I think that Bitcoin could go if it starts to crash in a second. Now, the main thing I said was if we do see a close below this level, we need to buy that up pretty quickly. And guess what? We bought it back the next day and we started to trickle higher. And now, even though there was so much turmoil on Friday, we can look at what Bitcoin did on Friday. Okay, so Friday, Bitcoin looks like complete indecision. It looks like it went lower, then it went higher, then it went lower, and now we're at indecision. So in the daily time frame, if you're looking short term, I would look for a close above this high and a close above this low to get some kind of direction. Doesn't mean that it's going to crash if it goes below that. It just means we're probably, if we close below this bar here, that wick, we are probably going to see another test of that support. And if we do test that support again, you know, we've knocked on this door once, twice, 3 times, broke through it a little bit on the 4th time, and the 5th time might be the charm. You might see this thing start to come down, but we want to be seeing if it is able to be bought back up. We could even start to, you know, speculate on some drawings if that happens and form some triangles and that kind of thing. I don't really want to do that necessarily today. I just want to give you guys some levels to watch out for in case Bitcoin does break this support and break that 50 on the weekly time frame. Lastly, about Friday, I just want to say, I believe this is actually a decent sign for markets that we could see a slight bounce this week. And you know, we easily could see it keep crashing, but I'm just saying that the fact that the market would seem like it was crashing a little, or at least, you know, pulling back pretty heavy, and Bitcoin didn't really do much, could be a sign that we had some volatility due to options expiration with the quad witching, and actually we should not be where we are and we could see a bounce. Before we get into those target levels, I just see it playing out in 2 ways. Either this is the moment and we kind of are going to come down and break those levels right away and start to head even lower, or we are going to see what happened the last time we got a reaction like this and start to extend higher for a retest. I just want to show you guys what happened the last time we got this kind of reaction. That means a bar closed below this support, and then the next day we just ripped right back up, and that would be right here. Okay, so let's pay attention to this. On this day, that's the 14th of June, we actually crashed below that level by 3.11%. Shouldn't probably say crash there, but then we bought it right back up and we closed above that. And what happened? We extended a little bit higher. We got a few consolidation or indecision days, and then we had a direction chosen by breaking that top right here. Okay, and then look what happens. We extend to higher levels pretty quickly. Now we just have to see, is that going to happen here? It looks pretty similar. Okay, so we have that big bar down that closed below, but then the very next day we bought it right back up and we see some strength, and now we're seeing it start to flatten out just like it did. So we kind of have to see, is this going to be a slight fake out above this high here? Or are we going to be able to cross this high and see that extension and get that retest? My bullish take on this, I do believe if we do get up towards that retest, or we even get that retest, that will start to get us overextended, and we will have to see some sort of pullback in order to go higher. But there's enough catalyst this month and at the end of this month to just start bringing this thing down if we do get that retest. And the important part with that is this is an accumulation zone. It means that any price that you get in here could be a good investment. It goes all the way up to about 14,000 and all the way down to 3,200. I don't really think Bitcoin's going to get to 3,200, but I just want you to pay attention to that zone, because at least in my eyes, I have it marked because I'm like, okay, the last time we were in this zone, we got a bunch of buyers for a long time. And then what happened when we broke out of that zone? We slammed to the upside. We actually mooned to the upside. The level that I really do like for Bitcoin is just right in the middle of this accumulation zone, right in here around 8,500. I believe that 8,500 is a very fair price for Bitcoin. I actually believe it's worth more than that. So if I can get Bitcoin or a Bitcoin for $8,500, I'm very comfortable holding that, investing in that for a few years. Now, I don't know how this is going to shake out, and you don't know how this is going to shake out. I'm just stating to myself that that is a very good zone to accumulate, and I believe that if Bitcoin got to the point where it is worth $8,500, then I am very comfortable taking on that investment, and I believe other people see that Bitcoin is worth more than $8,500, so they are going to invest at that level as well. That is all I got for our Bitcoin Saturday. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and good luck trading on the week ahead, okay? Peace.